I bet it's working. I wonder if it's working. Can you guys see us? Can we be
Mm-hmm.
seen and heard? Is this a thing that
Mm-hmm.
happens in our thing called life? Yeah, yeah, I think this is actually cooking with grease. Yay! It is! Yay! Thank you, Kung Fung Hustle and Alex Sun for chiming in. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Symphony's Twitch. I am Bridgett Jeffries. I am the owner of Symphony Entertainment, Gaming, and Arts. It is a gaming company that focuses on horror games, indie content, organic stories, and all of the things that make us shiver and sit up straighter in our chair or cry or cheer or thirst. It's kind of our thing over here in the Symphony, and it is a family and a community that I absolutely, absolutely adore. We are here tonight with a Symphony Lounge where we are going to be recapping our experience at Chaosium Con 2026 that just took place here in April in Ann Arbor. So I have an amazing cast of individuals who have agreed to volunteer their time and their talent and their experience to recap with us. So before I get into introductions, there are just two announcements that I would like to make. One, Symphony does have a Patreon. So if you like this content and you would like to help us make more of it, please consider backing us at Patreon. You can back us at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment, or you can read the very bottom of the screen and hop on over there to the Patreon to support us. And the second thing, we are hosting a giveaway tonight. So at Chaosium Con Ann Arbor, they brought out the Dust and Blood, which is a Cthulhu by Gaslight book that has two scenarios. One that is very on-board, beginner-friendly into the Gaslight world. And then the second one is a little bit longer, it's a little bit more complex, and it's more of a sandbox. So I do have a free hardcover of Cthulhu by Gaslight, Into London's Dark Heart, Dust and Blood, coming at you free. All you have to do is hit exclamation point Symphony. So bang Symphony into the chat and we will draw it at the end of the show. Now, listen, homies, shipping is doing a whole lot in 2026. So continental US is the best I got. If you're in Europe, if you're in Australia, if you're watching from somewhere else and you're chiming in, feel free to still apply. But when and if you win, you're just going to have to bless somebody that's on like this side of the ocean. So by all means, feel free to hop in. But yeah, so we've got Cthulhu by Gaslight and Call of Cthulhu Campfire Tales, which is scouting adventures against the mythos. So this is a new setting with a fictional group of scouts. Scouts were the theme of Chaos and Con as well. So I am giving away both of these bad boys. You do have to be a follower of the Twitch channel to enter, but you're just going to hop into the chat, hit Bang Symphony, and that will get you entered. Good luck to everyone who has already entered the drawing. And with those two announcements out of the way, let's get into the true sexiness of this debriefing, which are the guests who are joining me right now. So we are going to do introductions. Introduction order, guys. We're going to hit Tanya, Tiffany, Alex, and Mav. Starting with you, Tanya, tell us who you are, what you do, and where people can find you if you want to be found.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Name's Tanya, aka TanyaLashea, on most platforms. So you can just search TanyaLashea, or you can search my podcast, which is the Aging Journey podcast, as well as my second podcast now, which is Stories We Roll on YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Instagram. I think we have.
Hey.
And I and I also have a website. So it's just you can just search TanyaLashea website. And you've probably seen me around here on Symphony, I would assume, but you can also find me on other places. I'm going to be doing a game with Nerds with Dice in June for their Pride, and I'm going to be running The Brides of Dracula. But
Oh.
Dracula is Carmilla, and that's going to be me. So I'm currently recruiting for that right now.
Yeah.
So let me know if you're interested in being my bride.
I mean, don't threaten us with a good time. You're going to have a whole chat sit up here thirsty and ready screaming, we volunteer as tribute. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, hopping over to my next spouse here. Tiffany, hit us, baby. Tell us who you are, what you do, and where people can find you if being found is a thing that you want.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I have my art website, which is Color Cat Designs. That's with a U, the British spelling of color.
Stefan, see one.
And I'm on the Symphony Discord. I'm on other Discords and other games. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You can find me on any of the socials too as Color Cat Designs as well.
Yes, 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 yes. And then hopping over to, I don't think I've actually married Alex yet, but I might be married to Alex by the time this stream ends. It all kind of
There's still
depends.
time.
There's still
There's
time.
still time.
Alex, welcome, 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 baby, to the Symphony. Tell us who you are, what you do, and where people can find you if being found is a thing that you enjoy.
Thank you so much, Bridgett. Well, hello, friends. I'm Alex. I'm one of the co-hosts for the RPG Reanimators podcast, and you can find us where podcasts live. We mostly focus on breaking down, analyzing, and then reanimating scenarios for Call of Cthulhu and Delta Green, as well as GM tips and tricks. And you can see this all in action on our YouTube channel where we run actual plays, so we're not just all talk. And I have exciting news too, because my co-hosts, Lex and Nathan, just broke into the Miskatonic repository space with their awesome initial scenarios, Deep Trouble and Controlled Burn. So please check those out.
Oh, okay. So these are the MR right now, correct?
That's right, right now.
Okay. So are you following the Twitch chat by any chance, or do you know if either of them are live just so we can post those links in the chat?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Okay, beautiful. If someone can give me the assist so we can go ahead and slam that down, by all means, get those links onto the chat.
I'm faster.
Bam! Alex is already on fire. I love it. I love it. I love it.
There you
Perfect.
go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and one of my tier 1 spouses, my bae forever, Mav, hit us, baby. You know what it is. You do this enough on my platform without me.
Hey y'all, I'm Mav. My pronouns are they, them. And I am the head of Mythos Horror for the Old Ways podcast, where I am about to be running a Cthulhu by Gaslight campaign called Gothic by Gaslight. So that'll be coming out in the near future. Keep an eye out for that. I am also on various and sundry other podcasts, including Ain't Slayed Nobody. I pop up occasionally on places like How We Roll. And of course, you can find me around here quite a bit. Bridgett can't get rid of me no matter what she tries. And I don't think she wants to, which is probably good for me. But you can find my scenarios on the Miskatonic repository, including my most recent scenario, the David Bowie-inspired The Man Who Sold the World.
Yeah.
And I have a scenario in the upcoming Year of the Goat anthology, which is coming out on May 15th. That is a collection of 12 scenarios celebrating the mother of 1,000 young.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to find my scenario, To Serve in Heaven, which is a 1930s Dust Bowl scenario in there. So looking forward to sharing all that with all y'all.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, beautiful people, let us hop in. For those who are viewing, here's kind of like your rollout or your menu of what we're going to be looking through. We're going to go over some dry details about the convention itself, and then we are going to get into kind of like the rollout recap. So that's going to be convention experiences with us highlighting our individual convention experiences. And I want to lean in on this one just for a moment because I chose this particular group of people for a reason. This was Tanya's first ever Chaosium Con. First time she's ever done Chaosium Con. On top of that, this is the first time that most of us, I think all of us, have met Tanya in person. So we've had a long distance remote digital relationship where we've been swapping platforms. She's a backer. She's been backing in Symphony. She's family, but we had never met her in person. So that's a very unique experience, which is different from Tiffanie, who was a vendor, and unless I'm mistaken, was the only vendor on this call that was actually selling merchandise and gear and art at the show. And that's a much different perspective than a first-time viewer. Then we're going to drop down to Alex. This is Alex's first time on the Symphony, and there was no way I was not going to jump on this opportunity. So your friend Nate, thank you so much for helping facilitate that. And Alex, you are a delight, and your entire crew was a highlight of my convention with just how supportive and present and kind and welcoming and how much experience you guys have. Like the Recalibrate, it's just, you guys were the Reanimators. You guys were just incredible. So I'm delighted to have you here with a different perspective. And then Mav, of course, is a veteran at this show who has more experience, I think, than you might be tied with Alex. But also, you're running official Chaosium programming because you and I ran the round table. So everyone here is coming with a unique perspective where we approach the convention from a different angle. And each of these perspectives are important to me. And I'm excited to kind of lean in and hear their experiences. So we're going to do that. I'm going to play some videos. We're going to see some cool things that Carl, Asset Daddy, created for us. And then we're going to do a thirst trap. We're going to do giveaways. And then we are going to be out of here. So let's go ahead and get the dry out of the way. Chaosium Con is, at this point, one of either 5 or 6 Chaosium cons that Chaosium has spread out all over the globe. So these are proprietary cons that Chaosium launches. Ann Arbor was the very first, and this was the 5th year that they've hosted it. But there's also Chaosium Con UK, there's Chaosium Con Australia, there's Chaosium Con Poland, there's Chaosium Con New Zealand now, and I think there's another Chaosium Con somewhere that I've already missed or forgotten. But for this Symphony debriefing, we're going to be talking about Chaosium Con Ann Arbor, which took place April 16th through the 19th in Ypsilanti, Michigan. We say Ann Arbor, all of the marketing says Ann Arbor, mostly because if you say Ypsilanti to people, they're not going to know what that means. But if you say Ann Arbor, which is 20 minutes away, everyone goes, okay, absolutely got it. Same venue. This was hosted at the Eagle Crest Hotel in Ypsilanti. And our special guests for this year were Seth Gorkowski, Ashley Mae King, the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society, Josh Hoyt, which is the developer and the creator of the Campfire Tales, Tom Sullivan, famed artist that did a lot of art for Chaosium back in the day. So that was our special guest rollout. Now, I do want to give a shout out to a special guest that wasn't here. I sincerely miss seeing Leslie here, XP Lovecat. I was sad that she and her husband were not at this Chaosium Con. So Leslie, if you're watching this show, just know your presence and your energy and your experience was absolutely missed. Because I thought just walking down the hallways multiple times, like, man, it feels weird not having Leslie here. But you know what? It also felt weird not having Bucho there. It also felt weird having a lot of people there. And I'm going to lean into those who were not with us. Chaosium Con, as a rule, at least the last time that I remember, was sitting around 500 attendees. We were somewhere, and I haven't seen the official numbers on this one because I no longer work with conventions internally. We were somewhere at a reduction of 80 to 150 people. Somewhere around that range was the reduction for this Chaosium Con compared to the previous one in 2025. From my community management experience and just like trenching with the fans, the two things that I heard the most that directly contributed to that depreciation, I guess I'll say, is the political climate in the United States. We had a lot of people that refused to travel internationally. There's a handful of Australians that's like, we're not coming. Canadians were like, nah, we're not coming. So it was a really big thing where I constantly saw the trend where people was like, I don't feel comfortable or safe, or I don't want people screening through my social media, or I'm not traveling internationally to come to that con. So our international presence was absolutely reduced. And then also, guys, economically, 2026 is on some bullshit. Like before we even get to $5 a gallon on gas, or the fact that Spirit Airlines just got blown out the back door, financially, people were saying, I just can't afford to come to that con. Or going into 2026, I have to choose between Gen Con and Necronomicon, or I have to choose between Origins and Chaosium Con. So those were the two primary reasons that I heard for the numbers to reduce as much as they were. None of them are a direct reflection on the con as much as they are like the things that surround us in real life that will absolutely hit us. I know this is a dry information, but we're almost through it. The vendors that we had was Black Oak Workshop, which Craig, you are literally the best part of waking up. We had the HBLHS, Bait Al-Azif, Jared, we love you. Stygian Fox, New Comic Games, Greenwich Witch Hobbies, and a few other artists that were there. That's the dry details. I'm going to have us go in a circle. Let's go in introduction order. That feels yummy for me. And I'm going to start with Tanya. And Tanya, just really fast, can you give us a rundown on your impression of your very first Chaosium Con?
Yes. So I generally do hit a couple of the larger, more broad circuits. So like Gen Con and Wizard Con when it was Wizard Con, Phoenix Fan Fusion. So like center city large conventions. And I'm generally playing indie or smaller games like with Magpie games. So playing Cartel and things like that. So generally, a lot of my time is spent when I like run games, explaining the game, bringing the supplies, and running them as close to the scenario as possible to make sure that people get a really good first impression.
Yeah.
I kind of went in assuming that because this is my first convention where it's the same like distributor, I kind of assumed that most people would understand the game or have played it before. So I wasn't going to run because I don't know, I felt like maybe I wasn't ready.
Okay.
I have not ran enough Call of Cthulhu. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go and enjoy the time that I have. And then on the spur of the moment, I was like, well, maybe I'll do a Regency,
Mhm.
maybe I'll do one of those. So I put that up and that immediately got signed up
Yeah.
completely. And I
Sold
was
out
like,
completely.
with a waiting list. And I was like, oh, you know what? I have time. I'll just do one more. I'll do the same one, but I'll do it another day. And that also got signed up for very quick. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, if I do any more, I won't have time to do anything else. So I didn't do that. Um, but yeah, so I did run 2 games of Regency, and I did play 2 games, and then I went to I think 2 uh like other things, like a
Hmm.
panel or a or experience or something like that. And I really tried to pack as much as possible because I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to come back or what to come back. So I was like,
Right.
let me try to get like as much of the experience as possible. That was probably too much. I actually, I
Valid.
actually, yeah, I actually felt like I had plenty. And then when I met everybody, I also just wanted to see what people were doing when they had like downtime, but I
Yeah.
didn't have much downtime. So then I was kind of kicking myself. But overall, regardless of my decisions, I had a great time, truly enjoyed it. I think immediately after I was done the convention, I had already decided that it'll be on my list of ones I want to return to every year. Um,
Yes.
and I would also love to, and I was surprised that in my second game, I had an entire table pretty much of new players,
Holy
but they
hell.
had all come together and signed up together, which I don't think I've ever had that at a convention. Usually it's 1 player or 2 players and then other players. And usually I have a large table, but I kept these tables to about 5.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I really liked the community. It felt more like that. I
Hmm.
don't think I've been to particularly the large conventions like Gen Con. I don't ever see those those people again. Um,
Right.
but this but this time I felt like we played the game. We went and did some things in between. We did like our break. We went to like the whiskey tasting thing. We saw each other afterwards. We stopped in the hallway to say hello because it's not that many people, so you can do that.
Yeah.
Really different experience. And I was surprised at how much I liked it because I think you get used to the larger cons of just kind of coming in, setting
Yep.
up, doing the thing, going to the next thing, then going to the next thing, and then going home because you're tired.
Yep.
But it really felt comfortable, and I felt like even if I had just played 1 game with somebody, we were able to say hello to each other in the hallway and, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And what game are you playing? And let's meet up afterwards or something.
Yeah.
And so I really, really love that because that is a convention I was kind of looking for. And so yeah, we'll be going back, and that was my very first experience.
Yes. So the one thing that's cool about Chaosium Con, and I say this every year when we get to these debriefings, is one, it's one intellectual property, not one, it's one company that houses all this IP. So versus like going to Origins where somebody might be there for miniatures or Pokemon or, cosplay only, or they might be there for D&D or Pathfinder or whatever it is. Most
Mhm.
people know what the fuck Cthulhu is when you go to Chaosium Con, whether or not they've actually played Call of Cthulhu at all. There's a connectivity that comes when you're all chasing or surrounded by the same intellectual properties, which makes the community feel um, tighter and more knit. But then also, babe, when you're sitting at 300 to 500 people, yeah, you're passing your homies in the hallway every 30 seconds. And it's very
Mhm.
easy, especially with the way that the blocks are set up, where everyone goes on lunch and dinner around the same time or breakfast around the same time, where those communities like, what are you doing after the game? We only have an hour. You want to go blah, 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 and then come back? So it facilitates and cultivates those type of interactions, which is a dope thing about Chaosium Con. All right.
Absolutely.
Tiffany, you're coming in, baby, with vendor experience for the second year with Color Cat Designs. How was your show?
Um, Actually, it was a lot better than I expected. So I went in with like, well, first of all, I want to go to the convention because it's like a family reunion.
Yeah.
Get to see all my friends I don't normally get to see.
Yep.
So that's like the side of it. But like if I'm talking business,
Mm-hmm.
since I don't have to pay for my table space, it's like a win-win. So my expectation was that people aren't going to have money really to like,
Mm-hmm.
because they're already like traveling to the show and then hotel and then food. And
Yeah.
then, most people are going to want like dice or whatever they need for whatever games they're playing. So
Yeah.
I didn't expect a lot, but I actually did because our community is amazing and awesome.
Yeah.
I did pretty well.
Let's go.
Yeah. So it wasn't, I mean, I'm still like, that's why I put my hotel in the stay not on the business
Mm-hmm.
because it is a kind of a vacation for me. But yeah, I mean, I did pretty all right. And, I love working there because Jeremiah has been great with communication, is a wonderful human being. Loved Rob. He helped and like hanging out with you guys too with Rob. He's amazing. And then, the what I think it was last year I looked at Rick and I was like, I want to come back every year. And he was like, well, if you want to, you're here. And I was like, amazing.
Amazing.
So,
Something Chaosium Con does, guys, that Tiffany just mentioned, which thank you for reminding me on this one. The artist atrium, which are like the tables that line the atrium area, those are completely free. So Chaosium does not charge artists to vend at the show, which is huge. Now, if you're at the dealer hall, they're charging a booth fee, which rightfully so. But I personally have never been to a gaming convention that's like, oh, hey, artists, come here and just do the best you can and throw your spaghetti at the wall and network and expose yourself, and we're not going to try to monetize you. And I think that's a beautiful damn thing.
it really is because like if you're talking like other conventions, if I wanted to do bigger ones, which I don't, I kind of like I feel like a lot of my art is very niche and I have to find my people.
Yeah.
So most like gaming conventions and stuff won't work. But like Origins is like $1,500 a table. I think Gen Con is, yeah. And then for Artist Alley at Gen Con is also $1,500. Um, I know like smaller ones, like now you're talking like Game Hole Con
Yeah.
and Madison. That's reasonable. That's like 150. That's what I normally pay for like some of these smaller like conventions and stuff that I do. It's about 150 to $100, but the fact that I can go see my family and
Yeah.
have a free table is amazing.
Yeah.
Because then I don't have to add that cost into the business too.
Correct. Yeah. It's a great way to celebrate artists. I'm a big fan of that. I remember Rick made that decision. I think we started doing the artist atrium 3 years ago. He came up with it and we were like, yeah, like, well, how much are we charging? And he's like, nothing. We're not going to charge any artists anything. Just get them out here, get them exposed. They can trade commissions. They can do, and I was just like sold. And I love that is still the process today, which is just a win. So Rick, massive thank you for that one, babe.
It's
Alex.
amazing. It really is. It's great. Sorry.
It is. Yeah, no, it's a blessing. It genuinely is. Alex, I interviewed you on the, hey, what do you love about this show? And I want to say I remember you saying this was your fourth or your fifth show.
It's my fourth one.
It's your fourth. How was your show, babe?
It was great. It was great seeing my co-hosts Nathan, Lex, Holly of the RPG Reanimators again, all in person. Usually we come together for the Chaosium Con. And before I continue, I wanna share the sentiment with Bridgett and Tanya here, where these smaller cons are really special. They're a lot more personal.
Yep.
It's easier to be part of the community, and honestly, it's much less stress on the social battery. So
Oh, good
so I
articulation.
appreciated that. But yes, we ran a panel on running Call of Cthulhu without the mythos, and that was exciting. We had like a full room, and it was good. It's good being able to help and share tips and tricks, and it's like a meeting of the minds and seeing what people can come up with. Fun fact, RPG Reanimators, they got started from Chaosium Con in 2023. after the hosts, us, attended a panel, it was like, oh, how do you start up with podcasting?
Shut
And
the front
it's like,
door.
okay, let's do it. So yes.
I didn't know that. That's so dope.
Yeah. But this year, is my fourth one, like you said. I
Mm-hmm.
usually get the GM badge and just like fill up my schedule with running a lot of games. But
Yeah.
this year, I didn't get a GM badge and just enjoyed playing in games. And I met awesome people, played in awesome games, right? Shout out to all my new friends that I made, like
Hey.
Mav, Bridgett, both Docs, and even Nate. But
I know. We're still praying about the Nate situation, honey. We do the best we can with that one.
And don't even get me started on like the Jets pizza. There's so much pizza.
Oh,
I had so much pizza over this weekend. That was a lot.
Jet's Pizza is like coming home when you go to Chaosium. God, so that's valid. Oh, that's so valid. Alex, I didn't know that you guys formed or came together at a Chaosium Con. That's incredible.
Yeah. 2023.
Wow. And Nate is already in the chat, and I already echoed this too. You guys are such an incredible group of people. Just you're insightful and you're supportive and you're fun. And let me tell you about just lifting an experience by being in your proximity. You guys are fucking rock stars. Like, y'all are just an amazing crew. So I'm glad that you guys found each other, and I'm glad you're doing as well as you are.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We are so flattered. And I will speak on their behalf.
Yeah.
We are flattered.
I'm the official representative. I am the spouse, apparently. We're already married. Congrats. We did it, Alex.
All right. Oh.
It didn't take long at all. We're already married. Oh, I love
Right.
it. And then, hey, boo. You ready for me,
Hey.
Math? Oh, God, I love
Mhm.
them so much. Gorgeous, how was your convention?
My convention was great. Like a lot of people, I mostly go for the people.
Yeah.
Like the experience of playing games with the people I love and that I care about, meeting new people, like
Yeah.
at the gaming table, or in events like meeting Alex, and other really cool people throughout the event. So that was definitely a highlight there. I didn't get a GM badge this year either. I was like, nope, I'm gonna take it easy. It's gonna be fun time for Keeper Mav over here. So I
Yeah.
ran one game. I ran one game and that was it. And then played in two games, did the round table with you and did the
Mhm.
Symphony event and just spent the rest of my time enjoying people and Ipsy and doing all sorts of crazy shenanigans roundabout. But it was really fun. I did feel the smaller nature of it this year.
Yeah.
Like it was very apparent. I could feel it and I saw it. Um, but it was good to be there, good to play some games, good to run a game,
Yeah.
and just be with people. Just not have to worry about work and all this other stuff. Just to exist with people that I love and meet new people that I can care about. And just I love Chaosium Con so much. I can only go to one con a year, and Chaosium Con is my con every year.
Yeah. Mav, did I cry on you the first time I saw you this year too?
You did.
I feel like I cried on you the second I saw you too, which was amazing. To your point, just to be able to escape the harsh realities of every day right now, to be around people with a shared hobby, a shared passion, and a shared love was just absolutely, absolutely incredible. For me, my show was very different. The very first year that we had it, Todd, who worked for Chaosium, was a primary organizer, and I was kind of like an assistant helper. And then year 2, 3, and 4, I was primary, and then I had Rick and Jeremiah helping, and then kind of the team flooded out from there. This was the first year that I wasn't the primary organizer. So I didn't do fuck all with tabletop events. I wasn't the first person that had to put out fires. I didn't have to deal with any of the hotel negotiations or food and beverage contracts. I didn't have to do anything but attend. And I admit to feeling a bit of a whiplash. You know how your body gets conditioned to doing a thing, and then suddenly you're not doing the thing, but your body's like, stop. You don't have to do the thing. So once that clicked, and it took a second for it to click, I was actually able to lean into the experience and actually just enjoy the show, and actually fully enjoy the community. And for me, that was absolutely magical, and it's everything that my mental health truly, truly needed. Now, for y'all, especially Tiffany, Alex, and Mav, Rob and I were having this discussion, and we had it multiple times. Did y'all feel particularly more tired after this show for any reason than you typically do?
Yeah, I suppose so.
What the fuck was that?
I had
Well-
COVID after Chaosium Con last year, and I was more tired this year than when coming home with COVID last year.
For me, I was just actually having this conversation with my husband about this, but like, so I've been somewhere at the beginning of the year, I hit a burnout. And it's been like just running, right? But all of us are all exhausted because now we're all struggling to pay for everything more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm blessed that like I don't struggle at the grocery store as much as I used to, but I like walk out after I pay groceries and I'm like, how are people fucking paying this?
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's like more of like everybody was already like stressed and kind of like burnt out by the world. But it was nice to see everybody. And so
Yeah.
I think like for me, like I overextended some things, or I, like made sure to socialize more than I maybe would have, because you're seeing people you actually wanted to see that you don't see every day, that that you care about. So I think in those ways, maybe that's why it's more tiring. Or afterwards, I feel like maybe we got smacked with the crash harder because we really needed to see everybody, but
Good
now we got to
perspective.
go on with our normal everyday life.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, good perspective. Alex, go ahead, baby.
Oh, I just wanted to say I 100% agree with what you said there, because it's like, yeah, we're here to have fun, we're here to have a good time, we have this shared hobby, and we want to make the most of it.
Yeah.
And you kind of do get a whiplash once you return to your like normal life. So that's definitely probably why I felt more tired.
Yeah. Rob and I were talking about it. I mean, at length, like it took us longer to rebound back. Recovery took longer. We just felt physically more exhausted. I was like, kind of like Mav was like, I went back with COVID last time. I wasn't as tired. I wasn't a fucking organizer this time. So I wasn't beating feet, running all over the place. And I was just like, God, this con has worn me out. So yeah, no, great perspective on that one. Great perspective on that one. Great perspective on that one. So really quick, fast, and in a hurry. If you are a member of the Symphony community, you can mostly see this on even if you're a free backer on Patreon, you can see it there, or on our Discord. But we have a series of traditions that we typically do at Chaosium Con. And I'm just going to outline them really briefly here. Wednesday afternoon, usually somewhere between 3 and 5 o'clock, we always go to House of Dank. It's a big family trip. We all run the House of Dank. We pick up whatever we want for the weekend, whatever we're going to travel with. We stock up, and then we kind of have that in our pockets. And we typically do some type of a meal after House of Dank. And this year we went to Malu's. And honey, I literally went to Malu's website on Google and left them reviews. That Nashville fried chicken was abso-fucking-lutely everything. So that's typically Wednesday. Thursday morning, we always go to Luca Diners for breakfast at 8 o'clock, which is way too early, and we all regret it. But the food is absolutely incredible. The first Chaosium Con we did it was a table of like 6 of us, and now we were almost at 20, which was just absolutely amazing. So we had Luca's Coney something for breakfast. We do our Symphony family photo in the evening, usually around 8 or 7 or 8 o'clock, depending on if Tiffany misses it or not. And then Symphony always tries to do some type of special programming Thursday night. We've done LARPs, and then after our LARP last year, it went well-ish. But with the feedback results and just talking to people, actually, I think it was Nate and I, when we went to breakfast when I was up at the same venue for UConn, was like, what if we change it up a little bit differently? Like, one of our proprietary things are our sonatas, which is like 60 minutes of, horror storytelling on the fly. Can we somehow incorporate that into a different experience? And we did. And I'm going to get to that soon. But right now, I'm going to give Cast a chance to drink some water. I'm going to give you guys a chance to experience and kind of see exactly how Symphony gets down at Chaosium Con. And this gorgeous video, if it doesn't freeze and crash the entire stream, was provided this very morning by Carl. You guys enjoy. Okay, allegedly I should be heard again. Carl, thank you for that absolutely stunning experience. Asset Daddy, you reign supreme. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so this is the Symphony Lounge. So I am gonna hype the shit out of Symphony people. First and foremost, anyone here at the table, did any of you guys play the Gatsby and the Great Race that was organized by Keeper Doc? Was anyone involved in that?
No.
No. Okay. So Doc,
Wanted to.
I know.
Next year, I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna help run it.
Are you gonna help run it next year?
Yeah, I played during Necronomicon.
Yes. So unless I'm wrong, this was it 8 tables going simultaneously in a private room? It was
Oh my
something like
God.
6 to 8 tables. All of these GMs going at the same time, and GMs included Heather, Evan, Doc. There were, I think, NPCs running around that were played by Tara and Chantel, but it was the Paul Fricker best-selling Miskatonic repository scenario, and I think it's Mav or Alex or anybody correct me. It is Gatsby and the Great Race, right?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
Correct.
Where there's multiple GMs moving at the same time, character sheets are being passed back and forth, and it's a massive, massive event. And Doc, congratulations, Doc Tracy, was able to organize that, facilitate it, and get it off. And I heard about that event non-stop through the entire weekend. Hell, Alex is already talking about that he's going to be helping run it next year. So massive, massive congratulations, Doc, for a successful run of Gatsby and the Great Race. There were several photos in this collage and another one that's coming that are celebrating that. Okay, who all made it to Tracy's prop making workshop?
I did. I went to that.
Talk us through it, because the photos looked incredible.
Yeah, we made a stamp from like a household item. So we made it with like an eraser. I used to be a big cosplayer and DIYer many years ago. And I kind of wanted to get back into it. That's one of the reasons why I kind of dressed up this year.
Yeah.
And I had never tried the carving thing. And I didn't even know you could use like an eraser. So that was just really fun. Had a great table, and then at one point we got to walk around to the other tables to do the other one where we made a map with rice. Also didn't know that hack.
Oh.
Yeah, and I have it somewhere. Ooh. Um, but I actually really enjoyed doing that because I've also never done that before. So it was really some good practical kind of like RPG DIY hacks that I plan to actually utilize. And it was just really fun. It was a full room, but everybody
Yeah.
was really cool. It was a good time.
Amazing. Did anyone else manage to make it to that one, or is it just so far Tanya here on the show? It was Friday at 9 a.m., which is exactly when I was running my VIP game for Chaosium, so I couldn't make it. But I saw
Mhm.
the photos, and like Tanya said, the room was booked out. I left something I was doing and sat down next with Nick. And by the way, Nick, if you're watching it, it was such a delight to have you at that show. So many people fell in love with you. You were absolutely family. And also, your outfits got sexier every goddamn day, honey. My goodness, sir. But yeah, Nick stopped me and was like, look at what I made at Tracy's. And he starts pulling out all this stuff and he stamps
Yeah.
and he spins. And it was amazing. So I want to give Tracy a big shout out for this one. And Tracy, I know I'm about to put your business out there. You're just going to have to love me through it, babe. This was Tracy's very first Chaosium Con. So it was her very first time doing this show at all. And she took the same risk that Tanya did. It was like, let me run programming at a show I've never been before. I don't know the culture. I don't know who's going to support me. I don't know what to expect. And Tracy took that leap and ran programming that was just a delight and connective and fun and creative that so many people leaned into. So Tracy, genuinely, I am fucking proud of you for like getting over the doubt and the insecurity and the imposter syndrome that said that you couldn't do it and actually doing the thing. That room looked like it was packed with like 30 or 40 people and they all left and are still raving about what a great event it was. So congratulations on that. Anyone here, did they play in Evan's Death of Poe playtest?
Well, I was going to put out the caveat that I didn't do shit this con, so I'm sorry to everybody. I wanted to be in games and I
You were
wanted to do
working.
stuff. I was working, but I had other times too that I could have like done things like I didn't go to breakfast. I didn't do the Sonata this year, where last year I went to breakfast. I did the
Yeah.
LARP. Like I was full in on that LARP. And then
Yes.
so I apologize to everybody. I still love everybody, but I had to pull back on a lot of stuff I was doing. So
I'm sorry, Tiffany, are you apologizing for advocating for yourself and your bandwidth? The audacity.
I know. How dare I?
How dare you apologize for advocating for yourself and your experience? The damn audacity. Okay, if no one here played in Evan's playtest, I just want to give him a shout out. He's writing a Call of Cthulhu scenario now for the Mystic Platonic Repository called The Death of Poe, Edgar Allan Poe. And I heard amazing feedback from that all weekend, and he's still working on it now. So a massively, brilliantly done, Evan. I don't believe anyone played in Skip's 7th Sea game here. I almost have that confirmed because I remember looking at the photos for there. But Skip, Commodore Skip, ran his very first fucking convention game, guys, ever at Chaosium Con. And it's the same situation. He walked in with a ton of anxiety and a ton of fear and a ton of doubt and walked away telling an incredible story with like fucking decked out table with like props and handouts and gold earrings and eye patches and bandanas and just an entire fucking vibe for 7th Sea. And Skip, I'm so proud of you. Well done, baby. Way to jump out there. Way to take that leap into the waters. Haha, see, I'm funny. And actually jump in and run a 7th Sea game. Your setup was incredible. You looked incredible. And you did it. Like, you're on the other side of, I don't know if I, to, yeah, no, I can, and I can do it well. So massive, massive, massive congratulations to you there, Skip. I don't think anyone here either played in Keeper Dactyl Docs from Prospero House, that 8-hour game that he ran, right? I don't think anybody did that here either. Another success from everything that I'm hearing across the board. And you can read more about that on his blog that I forgot to create a bot to do all the blogs because Doc did a blog and so did Skip and someone else did. So my bad on that one. Okay, Math. Talk us through your experience with the round table, especially since you wrote it.
I wrote part of it. You wrote some too.
Math wrote it.
The round table was a really great experience. I wasn't sure how much audience engagement there would be, especially how much of it would be people who've actively already published and are in the industry, so to speak,
Yep.
with publishing and writing community content versus how many people there would be who were new or looking to create and publish for any of the community content programs. But I think we had a really good balance of both.
Yeah.
So we got great questions from the newcomers and some from people who have done a few already, and we also got great input from folks who've done this before, who are veterans at it, and who spend a lot of time doing it.
Yeah.
So it was really highly interactive, and I still have people messaging me to say, hey, I got so much out of this roundtable, or thank you for this particular question, answer, whatever, or this was particularly valuable, or I'm gearing up to publish my first scenario. So it's been really great to hear that it was a good experience for people, but also that it's helping push people into writing their scenarios, getting their work out there, letting people see the things that they create. So I think it was a very valuable experience for everybody.
Hard agreed. And I'm going to quickly give a shout out to Alex and the Reanimators. You guys were on the front row and you did not let Mav and I fail. Thank you for showing up with great contributions and ideas and perspectives. It was super, super valuable. And I'm going to ask Alex your opinion on that programming too. I am just going to add in 2 very quick things. Historically speaking, year 2, 3, and 4, we had a mimosa mixer that was going alongside of the community content pop-up store. So there would be, mixers at mimosas that Chaosium would provide. And it would be in a loud room with people kind of yelling and trying to connect and talk. And it would be artists and layout and different IPs. And it's a heartbeat of programming. It was very sweet. It was very fun, but it had some challenges. So we decided to do something different this year, which was this round table where effectively Mav wrote out a menu. Sure, I helped on the back end. Mav wrote this shit. Wrote out a menu of major things that you should look at when you're looking to publish community content. And then like the first, like one of the topics would be, how do you gain inspiration for your games? And Mav would go, I would go. And then we had Doc Tracy sitting with like a 5 or 10 minute timer. And then we would just let the room go. And the room would just throw in their own experience and their own ideas and their own challenges. And then we would chop it up as a room, and then the timer would go off and we'd stop the conversation right there. And then we immediately transition to the next topic. Alex, what was your honest opinion of that programming?
One word, inspiring. So thank you for making that possible. Like, it was inspiring seeing all these writers, those who are just beginning and those who are already established in the Miskatonic repository community content. Like, if they can do it, we can do it too. And like, there was great tips that I took away from that panel, and one of them is to help me out. It was writing sprints. Mav was telling me about writing sprints to just have someone double me while I do my work.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you for participating with that programming here on the Symphony Discord too, because it really is a blessing if that's a tool that works for you. Alex, can you tell us what you're working on? Or is that
I'm working on a pretty big project right now, and I would say that panel did help me push it forward, because right now I did talk to an artist, did get some art. Colin Richards, he's going to be doing the art for my scenario.
Yes!
So shout out Colin. And we're timing it so that, see, I'm a procrastinator, so it puts a fire under my ass now that I've actually committed. So hopefully August, and I'm probably going to run it here on Symphony. So
let's go!
Hell yeah.
Oh!
I already got like 40 pages in this manuscript. I'm ready. My first debut. I'm just gonna go out swinging.
Yes, unblinkingly and unapologetically. Let's go. Oh, okay. Before we hop into the Symphony Sonata, and that's going to get us close to our giveaway and our outro, I am going to do a round table. We're going to go around twice, and we're just going to highlight moments for us at the show. You guys good for that? Did I freeze? Nope, I'm back. Are you guys good with that? Is that a thumbs up? We're good?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to do in order of introduction. This can be off campus, on campus, something you did, something you saw. It doesn't matter. We're just going to go round table, and we're going to go around twice unless I get overexcited and then I push this to do a third time. So, Tanya, what was the highlight moment of the show for you?
Are we supposed to be leaving out the symphony show?
No, you can go ahead and call it out. You can call it out.
Okay. Yes, the sub vibes that in the show, so necessary. Just really helped me reset. Yeah, that was the highlight. Walking in and being like, oh, I'm on attention. Okay, I'm giving directions. Wonderful.
Tanya, you and I are so fucking married. The sub vibes of that show is the most accurate description I've heard of that programming. Yeah. Accurate. Yeah. Tiffany?
For me, mostly it was like the times where it was like quiet moments with like a few people.
Yeah.
Like when it was like just me, Bridgett, and Rob just like chilling. Or it was when I like came over and crashed when you were with Evan and Mav, and I just like came, like I snuck over, like it's just quiet and just chill, you know, like those were like, because like for me that's really what I needed, like just some quiet time with some friends, and you know, like I love seeing everybody, I love like just hanging out. And at the end of the show, oh my god, he's gonna hate me. But we met, he just joined the Symphony with the podcast.
Oh shit.
But
I know who you're talking. God, I can't think of the name right now too. Is it an M? Does it start with an M?
No, I don't think so.
No, we're struggling. It's okay. Keep going. It's late.
Anyways, yeah. At the end of the show, I think it was on Sunday night, so most people had left. And we ordered Jet's Pizza. I had like all the Korean, and we all just sat around and told stories. And Doc was there with us. It was and Lynn.
Was it
And
Scott?
Lynn was with us. Yes. Yes. It was Scott. Yes.
Mav for the rescue.
Okay.
Thank you for Mav for swinging in. Thank you for Mav
Well,
for
I had
swinging
just
in.
met him. Like I saw him a couple of times in the con, but like somehow we all just came together on like Sunday night and had dinner and like
Yes.
hung out, and like it was quiet because like nobody was there, and it was really fun. So
Yeah.
that's what I really enjoyed.
Love it. Alex, what was one of your convention highlights?
Well, I would say one of the highlights during the live Sonata experiences as a school teacher supervising a zoo field trip, I got my thumbs chewed off by a rogue penguin. And that was not expected coming in.
No notes. 10 out of 10. No notes. No. Freaking. Oh, God, you were so good in that Sonata. We're going to get to it. I swear, but God, you were so good. Mav?
So one of the best things for me was actually a little moment, more than a moment, but Evan and I actually got to do a live writing sprint where the two of us set up at a table in the bar and we both worked on our writing projects. And I got to bounce some ideas off of him, and he ran a couple things by me, and we had that time of just sharing ideas, but then also really quiet, really focused. We're going to write things now. And I got a lot of stuff done in a very short amount of time, but I got to do the body doubling and all that in person with another creative I respect very much, and so that was incredible.
Babe, a live writing sprint is peak Symphony Chaosium con. That's good shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna choose two, but I'm gonna make them both very quick. The fireside hangout with everyone outside on Saturday night. Absolutely one of my most beautiful and thoughtful moments of the show. I deeply enjoyed sitting outside in the cold with Evan and I bundled up under a tablecloth that I snatched off of the breakfast bar because it was so cold, even with us layered in, with a fire that barely burned, and Evan ranting about the Scouts theme. Top shelf. And Mav, I don't know what it is, babe, but sitting down with you eating noodles and company while my stomach was jammed up
Yeah.
was just beautiful. Just
After we took 30 minutes to decide what we wanted to eat.
right. And we both ordered it on DoorDash, and it was just eating noodles and company with you at that table, and then getting dessert from the bar at the same time too was easily one of my highlight moments. I'm gonna kick it back to Tanya.
I really enjoy, and I got there a day early, because I wasn't sure about anything, and I like to be early if I can, so I
Yeah.
can figure things out. I really liked the venue actually, and specifically the downtime that you can do and how open it was. I don't
Yeah.
know, I obviously wasn't familiar with the space, so I just immediately went to Gen Con or like a
Uh-huh.
larger venue, and it was totally different. And I wish I had known that, because I would have maybe gone to the things I really wanted to go to and see if there was a spot open.
Yeah.
But I just kind of assumed that because there were tickets and that, yeah, that I didn't even try to like
Mm-hmm.
go and see if I could get like a seat. Because I really wanted to go to a bunch of things. I just was like, well, I didn't get I didn't sign up for it, so I'm not even gonna. But then afterwards or during, I was seeing that people were kind of going to things, and then even for my game, they were like, hey, can we get another person to come here? And I had enough characters, so I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
So it's much more chill in that aspect, and so I could have probably done more stuff. But I just liked learning that about that.
Yeah, no, and that's good advice to anybody watching, especially if you want to attend next year. Take the risk and just walk by. You may actually have an opportunity to get in. Nope, that's good feedback. Tiff?
Let's see. I mean, I didn't do a lot, which I guess is a highlight in and of itself.
You're absolutely correct.
Like I didn't really feel pressured to do much.
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much said I was gonna work and I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
Like whatever. So that's pretty much what I did. And I guess like I'm just grateful that we have a family that understands and doesn't take it personally. That
Mhm.
like I didn't go out of my way to do like specific things or whatever, and I was just there to like hang out and exist and see everybody that I care about and hang out and yeah.
Yeah.
Except oh well, I guess except for the night that everybody has to have their first Michigan, weed experience where you get slapped and Doc had to come save me because I could no longer conversate. So
The rite of passage of underestimating Michigan weed. Yes.
right.
The
Yes.
Symphony Chaosium crossover.
And it doesn't matter how many times people tell you, you're still gonna, because I heard all about it from last year.
Mm-hmm.
About everybody that got like, how Bucho was fucked up and
Yep.
Doc got fucked up. And then this year I was like, it'll be fine. It's fine. It was not fine.
It was.
It was not.
You was like, boo,
I mean, it was
not
a
fine.
good time.
That Michigan weed is loud. And if you want to go in and underestimate Michigan, just know that we're going to be telling stories about you until the following year. Lean in and have a good time because that Michigan don't play around. I got bodied by Michigan too. My mom called it just the Michigan. That Michigan week don't play around. That's valid. Alex, another highlight for you?
Another highlight, I would say grabbing a beer with one of the people who GM'd for me after a game and like talking about how he had trouble with his nieces and nephews engaged in tabletop RPGs.
Yeah.
So just like sharing advice. So that was really sweet.
That is super sweet. So, yep. Mav.
So I had a really great time with the game I ran. I ran Hot Bro Summer, which I wrote with Evan, which is Jersey Shore meets reality competition show in the 2010s. One of my players was Rain, who's on the Symphony server, so it was great to play with her in person. But everybody just leaned in super hard to the broitude. Like, we had Brosidon, King of the Broshin. The bro must go on, like all sorts of things. Like they were just leaning in so hard to the silliness and the brosomeness and just all of that. Everybody was cracking up. Everybody was having a good time. There were moments of real fucked up horror at the same time, but it was just such a great game and everybody was having so much fun. It was really like this massive boost of happy chemicals in the brain. Like I had just the most amazing time running it. And it almost made me wish I was running a second game, but only almost.
Only almost.
Only almost.
Only almost. Only almost. I will close out with a highlight moment for me. Didn't involve me at all. It was just something that I heard from another person. So Rob and I were on the way home and we were gossiping and recapping our experiences as one does when you leave a show. And he told me a story about Craig, which is honestly one of the sweetest men this side of the Mississippi. He's the one that owns the Black Oak Workshop. And Rob was working the Chaosium booth next to Craig. And there was this brand new attendee who had never done Chaosium Con before. I don't think he had ever done a convention before either. And he was getting ready to run his first game. So Craig was talking to this kid and they were going back and forth. And Craig went into his inventory and he gave the kid a dice bag. And was like, here's a dice bag. Choose any set of dice you want. And then that can be like kind of a christening gift or a congratulations gift for your very first time, running a game at a show. And, the kid, according to Rob, the kid, got emotional. I was just like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. This is so sweet. Then freaking Craig asked the kid, how many players are at your table? And the kid, the boy, the man, he said 6. Then Craig went and got dice bags for every single one of his players. So that when this guy ran his very first game at a show, not only did he get dice in a bag, but he could actually bless everyone at his table with a dice bag too. And just, Rob was tearing up in the car telling me this story, which means I'm tearing up in the car, driving down 23, listening to this story. And it just, Craig is one of those human beings that you just go, the world would be so much better if we just had more of him. And when you look at the fact that somebody of that caliber of just generosity and kindness and sweetness was at Chaosium Con blessing people like that, like, and Rob said this was like a young kid, so I'm assuming he's probably 18, 19, 20, and I'm calling him a kid because I'm at 40 now, which, okay, that's a weird thing to just lean into today, but he was a real blessing to a brand new gamer who's walking into an experience with that type of a gift. And I just love Chaosium Con for moments like that. I love our hobby for moments like that. And I just absolutely celebrate Craig just 12 out of 10 times a day because he's able and chooses to facilitate moments like that for other people. And I just think it's stunning. Thank you so much, Tracy, for throwing the Black Oak Workshop link, the Kickstarter in there. Thank you, Craig. You're absolutely awesome. Spoiler alert, I hosted the very first Ennies, and the primary reason I got it was because of Craig. Craig is a sponsor for the Ennies, so he's one of the primary reasons why I was a host for the first year. And then he talked to me at some show, I think it was UConn or something. He's like, do you want to host Ennies again? I was like, yeah, I absolutely do. I would absolutely do it, but they're not going to bring me back again. Yeah, well, they brought me back again, and I hosted the Ennies 2 years in a row, and so much of that is off of Craig. Literally off of Craig. Craig asked me at Chaosium Con, like, do you want to host the Ennies again? I was like, Craig, they're not going to let me do it 3 years in a row. He's like, well, I'm going to email and ask. Because it's Craig. One of the kindest people in the industry, and we love him to death. All right, guys, our last piece of programming to discuss is the Symphony Sonata Immersion LARP. All right, so 3 of us at the table were a part of this experience, and I'm just going to get a quick slideshow going. Allegedly. Let me see if I actually successfully do this. Hold on. No. Yeah. So I've got this little immersion going. Tiffany, there was no safe place to put it except over your face, which is so disrespectful, but you weren't there. So love me through the collages just on top of your face. I love you. I love you. I love you. Tiffany's like, I don't care. So this was our Thursday night programming. This was envisioned by Bucho and I. Bucho put in 50% of all of this work on the design and the rollout, knowing that he wasn't even going to attend the convention, which I think is just absolutely huge. And I know the video is frozen. Give Zoom about 30 seconds and it'll pop back up. But as long as you guys are still here, we should be rocking and rolling. So Bucho and I wrote this experience. We got onto a group call with our special guest NPCs and storytellers, which were Mav and your friend Nate, who were the conductors, the keepers of the first 2 live shows. And then we had Doc and who else was there? Math? I'm forgetting. It was just the 4 of us, right?
Yeah, just, well, you, Bucho, me, Nate, and Keeper Doc.
And the Keeper Doc, yeah. So we didn't tell the audience exactly what was going on walking into it. We just decided to set the temperature in real time. So this was a hybrid of a Call of Cthulhu live show combined with almost kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where the audience can get pulled up to be cast members, where they can get pulled up to be NPCs, like John was a penguin that ate off Alex's fingers. Or you can get pulled up to be a cultist that sacrifices another person, but it's all highly improv. It's all seat of your pants, and it's all super atmospheric. So we had, champagne flutes that were filled with grape juice that we used for blood. We had the lights turned off. We had candle lights. We had giveaways. But the big thing is there were 2 live shows that were going on that ran about 45 minutes, an hour apiece. And then all these intermediate experiences that happened in between. So I'm just going to do a quick round table, starting with, let's do Tanya, Alex, and then Mav, because this was participant, and then showrunner, on just how your experience was with the Sonata immersion event.
So one of the reasons why I was really interested in going is, number one, because I found this community, which I didn't even think I would get so deep in the sauce with, but I'm super happy that I did. But also because I'm really wanting to get into more live shows, LARPing, but that made me really nervous. And so I kind of was like, well, if I could do it more in a place that I would feel a little bit more safer, then maybe I can go out for it. And this was it. That worked perfectly. I've been bitten by the bug, and I shall continue to do this for the rest of my life. That's how that worked.
Yes.
Yeah, this was like hands down out of all the places and experiences I could have had for like my very first, this was perfect. I don't think
Yes.
I've ever been in a room where everyone knew the assignment and everyone played it 100% the whole time, and you just were in the game
Yeah.
show. So unique, so fun. Um, and even if you were nervous, you were having so much fun. So it was like I could not stop myself from giggling.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Alex, you walked into
Yeah,
that room for the first time too on What the Hell Is This? What was your experience?
that's right. I signed up for this live Sonata experience because I wanted to see what Symphony was all about, and oh my God, it was it was weird, but in like the best way possible. It was everyone like was in it, like Tanya said, and I spilled so much grape juice over myself on multiple occasions.
Oh, you were. I'm gonna do another round table with like highlight moments from just the Sonata, but you hold so many of mine, Alex. Oh my God, your immersion during that damn thing was absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
So fucking good. Your performance was stunning. Math.
So I had an amazing time. I love doing improv games. It's one of my favorite things to do. I volunteer to run a Sonata every chance I get
Mm-hmm.
because I just love doing the improv games. Getting to do it in front of a live audience with audience participation was a
Oof.
heady experience unlike anything else. Just the feeding off the audience because I don't look at the Twitch stream when we're doing it on Twitch,
Nope.
so I don't get anything from the Twitch chat, and I can't see anybody. But like being able to see people and then pulling people out of the audience, be like, "You're going to be my players now," was just so much fun. And then I loved how you and Keeper Doc and Nate and I all interacted and bounced off each other, like the give and the take.
Yes.
It was some really great improv and also it felt like a very safe space as well. Even when it was playing in front of a bunch of people, like I didn't know everybody in the room,
Yeah.
and I was seeing strangers and people getting involved. Like I didn't know half the people who were my players either. But it felt like a safe environment. It
Mm-hmm.
felt like people were all there for the same reason. No one was there to heckle. No one was there to see us fail. And so it was a very supportive environment for a live improv show, and
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic.
Our NPC and storyteller crew, you, Doc, and Nathan, were just absolutely stunning. Mav, you guys, you guys are so brilliant. You set the temperature so deliciously, and then you just ruined everyone, including me, and it was awesome. I'll say this much about the Symphony Sonata, especially because, and Tanya and I had a very long conversation about this at breakfast the following morning. When you walked into the room, we set the expectation without ever telling you what the fuck was going on. So like you walk into a room expecting you don't really know, but you have four people that are so far in the character that like the insanity lines immediately start blending. And then we just slowly immerse you and invite you to also just join into the experience. And Tanya said this, and I'll echo this on Mav, and then we're just going to do a quick roundtable on our highlight moments from the Sonata itself. But Tanya made the joke like I could just hop into subspace and call it a day. Same, and I was the showrunner. And then Mav mentioned that it was safe, and I'll say this much: for us to push as many boundaries as we did in that Sonata, showrunners were so intentional about getting consent. So, like, I remember at one point I walked up to Andy and I was just like, "Hey, are you in the mood, or do you have the bandwidth for some light humiliation?" And Andy was like, "Oh yeah, give it to me." I was like, "Great, go fall on your knees in front of Doc and supplicate yourself." Bam, we're off to the races. Alex, unless I'm wrong, that was you and another player that I had you guys feeding each other through the wine shoots, right?
Yeah.
That was another thing. It's like, if you don't know the person, even if you do know the person, crossing arms and feeding each other blood through like, a champagne flute is a deeply intimate experience. So it's like, do you two feel comfortable with this? Is this too intimate? And they're like, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, then you guys are bleeding your wrists into these champagne flutes and you're going to feed each other. Great. Uh, Some guy from the audience got ritualistically sacrificed. Hey, are you okay with being touched? You okay if we go all the way out on this? All right, flag us if it gets to be so much. So the consent was always there, but it was like negotiated very quickly and then just executed. And Alex, I feel like you have something to say on this one. Keep going.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, feeding each other blood. I'm into that. Great.
Like, this is a worthy investment. This is exactly what I wanted to do on a Thursday night, is feed each other blood. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Tanya, what was one of your highlight moments from the Sonata Immersion experience?
Oh, there's so many.
So many good ones.
Man. You know what? You would think I would pick the moments where I was on stage or on in the with Alex,
Mm-hmm.
but that was really fun. But I would actually say I really loved watching the first one and being in the audience. Being an audience member was
Oh.
probably the funnest part because I remember getting the agenda
Yeah.
based off of how you were reacting, being like, oh, okay, I understand. Sitting down and having the girl who I learned later was Lily, but having her two seats from me, like talking and me looking over and being like, if you don't shut up, you're going to get us in trouble. And and then there were other people who were also kind of we were all different characters, but we
Yeah.
could only kind of hear each other being these characters. No one was really watching us. And I was like, this is hilarious. And she ended up getting the blindfold, and I looked over and I said, I told you.
I told you.
Mhm.
Told you
I
you should
said
stop
you were gonna get in
talking.
trouble. That was so fun. And I could have stayed in that audience the whole time and just played an audience member.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Fantastic articulation, Tanya. Oh my God. Alex, what was, Jesus, you had so many. Let me correct that. I don't know how many you had. I had so many that involved you, but what was one of your highlight moments?
I just wanted to see how far I could push the bit of keeping my students safe.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good.
That was absolutely stunning. Just really fast, can you just highlight what that means for someone who wasn't there? Because honestly,
All right.
your situational awareness and social awareness made that bitch stretch out 80% longer than it should have, and it still hit every single time.
Thank you. So what happened was I was the school teacher for a field trip at the zoo, and like I needed to keep the kids safe from harm, or else that was obviously going to affect my teaching license. So, so I would throw myself into bodily harm, and it got to the point where the kids would come to blows and try to attack one another, and I'd keep jumping in the way.
Again and again and again. Your comedic timing on that one was fucking flawless, Alex. Jesus,
Thank you.
fuck, that was so good. Oh, I'm excited to hear this. Mav, what was one of your highlight moments?
Other than all of Alex's moments.
Honey.
Thank you.
Mix, yes.
I think, honestly, not to self-aggrandize, but the looks on people's faces when I described finding the fingernails in the bread.
I hate it. We're still doing this? Okay, yep, let's go.
Yep. Just the looks on people's faces, and then I had a couple people afterwards being like, "What the fuck?" Just and that I hadn't planned that little detail. It just came up, improv style out of nowhere, and just everybody's faces, and then looking over and seeing your face.
Mav, I was so upset. So upset. Fingernails and loaves of bread are just not what I was prepared to walk into on a Thursday evening, Mav. It just wasn't what I needed on a Thursday evening. But that was a valid one. That was good. Good. Okay, so I'm on my phone right now looking it up because for whatever reason, because I'm tired, I cannot think of the owner of Myth Brigade's platform right now. But he was the main cultist in a lot of them. I gave him the black hooded cloak, and he was the one doing a lot of the blood rituals and the sacrifices. So, because it was fully improv, at some point at the end of the game, we're trying to wind down, and I'm sitting at the table, and Keeper Doc keeps calling people up and sending them my way. And I'm looking at him like, why the fuck do you keep sending me people? What do you want me to do with these people? We're not running another sonata. We're trying to, and then suddenly I have a line of people in front of me. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then Nate does something that teased me up with an idea. I was like, oh, we gave all of the characters, all the audience members, a slip of paper underneath their chair that helped define some creepy shit in their backstory. And Chantel, who's one of the most brilliant role players I've ever had the honor to sit at a table with, got something about she was wearing a human suit. She was wearing a human suit made of human skin. So I was like, I need to close this down, and I don't know how. But I could trust. I'm so embarrassed that I can't think of his name right now. I'm really upset. But it's the owner of Myth Brigade. And I said, hey, she's wearing a human suit. She's inauthentic or whatever. Unravel her. That was it. That's all I said. They went into a quick negotiation, and suddenly Chantel was standing before a live studio audience with him directly behind her, and he starts undressing her. So like the first piece of article of clothing comes off, and I'm just like, okay. And then the second article of clothing comes off, and I'm sitting at the table. I was like, okay, so are we doing Symphony After Dark already? I thought we were gonna wait a little bit longer before we started doing that. And then my mind started going, it's like, we got consent from those two, but how far can we push this audience? What are we gonna do? And the articles of clothing just keep coming off. And then finally they got to this gorgeous, tasteful chicken point where she had unraveled enough where she just walked over her skin. And then something happened. A player teed this up, and the finale happened, which you're going to see at the end of this quick video. Let's hope this plays. But it's Symphony. It could crash, but we're going to find out together as a family. That die screaming in a completely blacked out room with candlelights went so incredibly hard. Okay, guys, I'm looking at our internal agenda right now. We're supposed to do a thirst trap, but I'm also looking at the time. We have 7 minutes and we need to get out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the giveaway in the background, and I'm going to go in reverse order. And I just want to hear your closing thoughts on Chaosium Con 2026. This can be a piece of advice. This could be a highlight moment. This could just be a point of gratitude. It can be anything you want, but we're going to start with Mav while I try to work out stuff in the background and pull this giveaway. First giveaway I'm going to do is going to be the Dust and Blood, and then the second one is going to be the Campfire. Mav, close us out for your experience on Chaosium Con 2026.
Best advice I can give, especially if you're coming for the first time, is carve out time to just be, because you will find time to maybe sit with people and have a drink.
Yeah.
Maybe you get invited out for a meal. Maybe there's a pickup game that's happening, or another game where they're low on players, and suddenly you get to be in something that you didn't know you could play in, because they'll go around trying to recruit people. Maybe it's just taking time to yourself to breathe. Whatever it is, if you carve out that time to just exist instead of packing every moment full, you will have a more fulfilling con, and it will be more impactful, I'd say. it doesn't have to be all game, 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 game.
Mm-mm.
Let the moment breathe. That's the best advice I can give for coming to Chaosium Con.
Wow. Beautifully said, Mav. Holy shit. Alex, closing thoughts
Yeah,
on Chaosium Con, baby.
I second that. So, it's about the spaces in between the liminal where you meet the awesome people and you have these great experiences that aren't expected at all. I'm grateful for the Chaosium Con experience I've had before, I've had
Mm-hmm.
this year, and will have in the future because there's just so many awesome people to meet, like memories to be made.
Beautifully said. Tiffany.
I kind of mentioned this before is that so last year was my very first one,
Mm-hmm.
and it was amazing, and I'm glad that I went because I'm going to continue to go. But the biggest thing is for me is that it is kind of like a family reunion.
Yeah.
And, I love seeing everybody that I regularly interact with, but don't get to actually see in person. The
Yeah.
fact that now 2 years in a row, I've met new people that are just going to continue to be friends, which is amazing. Um, and like I said, like this year, because I was already on the verge of burnout, nobody
Yeah.
took it personally that I didn't, do a whole lot. It's
Mm-mm.
like, I'm just happy. Can we just exist together? Because that's where
Yeah.
I'm at, and that's, honestly, that's just kind of like the definition of symphony to me, like that everybody is just family and we all just hang out and there's really no pressure on anybody and people can feel however they feel and we're all with everyone at that point that they're at.
Thank you for that, Tiffany. And beautifully, beautifully said. Yeah, we'll meet you where you are, baby. And if where we are is just you and I and Rob hanging out in the dark corner of a lounge for 2 hours, that's where the fuck we are. Tanya, close us out.
As Bridgett often says, do it afraid, do it scared. I don't know if I would have done this year, to be honest, if I hadn't found the Symphony Discord a couple of years ago and started watching the content and became a patron. Like it sort of snowballed. And then this year I had the opportunity to go to a convention and it was either the same old,
Uh huh.
or something new. And I had no idea what was going on with this one. And I was like, I'm not even sure I want to even run a game. And then before I knew it, I was just doing the things,
Yeah.
running games, going, meeting strangers, meeting people I have met before, but only online.
Yeah.
And this is the first time I've ever done that as well. Um, yeah, it truly became I would say a once in a lifetime opportunity and experience that I get to have every year from now on, which you really don't get that these days in a lot of spaces. So do it.
Do it. Even if you got to do it scared. Oh,
Mhm.
Jesus, I'm getting ready to cry. All right, so to get me past my tears, I'm gonna go cry into a couple of hot tea here in a moment. I'm really excited about it. The winner of the Cthulhu by Gaslight, Dust and Blood. Congratulations, Matt Doc Tracy. This bad boy will be in the mail to you tomorrow, and by tomorrow I mean sometime this week. Y'all know I'm not doing this shit tomorrow. And then, shut up, Tiffany. And the Campfire Tales is coming to you, Tracy. Tracy, I could mail this to you. But I also feel like if I don't mail it to you, that will make us go to Moe's sooner, and then we can go get queso and burritos, and I can just hand this to you in person. So I'm gonna save myself the shipping, and we're just gonna go get Moe's. Yeah, if you want your book, you're getting Mexican with me. Deal with it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tanya, Tiffany, Alex. Welcome to the Symphony, and Mav. Thank you so much for joining us for the Symphony Lounge Chaosium Con 2026 recap. Bucho, Thank you for all the trench work you did on writing the immersion experience. As you can hear from everyone that witnessed it, experienced it, it really was a raging success. Carl, Asset Daddy, from the overlay that you're looking at right now with the campfire in the background to the videos that you've seen to all of the flyers. Thank you, thank you, thank you to every backer that has made all this shit possible. For every like, for every share, for every follow, for every single family photo that you jump in. I have 4 of them on my wall behind me. For every time that you say thank you. Thank you. It genuinely matters. If you like this content, back us on Patreon. It's sitting on somebody's Patreon at patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. I'm going to play Carl's celebration video one more time. And then I'm going to ruin everybody by just playing that dice screaming clip one more time. So brace yourself, because that comes in hot, that comes in hard. And we will see you guys on the next stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We hope you've enjoyed the symphony. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Mwah. Bye, guys. Boot your face. Alex, listen to boot your face. You got to do this one. There you go. Boot your face. See, that's why we're married. You're already part of the family.